We have just been announced as the Scottish University of the Year by the Times Good University Guide. So it's a big year for us. And just a couple of weeks ago, the THE, which I think is the Times Higher Education, has given us the Business School of the Year as well. So it's a big year for us.
Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Coffee Chat with Adam. I have my coffee, my warm Turkish coffee this time around, but it's the same cup, okay? I don't know, you're gonna be like, it's the same cup from last time, what is this? But this is my coffee, and Julie Anderson also has her coffee from Robert Gordon University. Where's your coffee, Julie?
I have a festive coffee.
Oh my God, look at that beautiful cup, man. Mine is like just coffee, yours is beautiful. Well, anyway, so today is another episode of Coffee Chat with Adam, and I'm joined by Julie Anderson. As I said, she's from Robert Gordon University. And Julie, how are you doing?
Well, thank you. Yes. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. But yeah, so today's another episode. We're going to be learning a lot today about Robert Gordon University, about the Faculty of Business, about the history, about the location, also about what you're going to do when you're living on campus, and also some career opportunities after you finish with the university. So stay tuned for all this information today, and I'm just going to jump right to the first question. And my first question says, Julie, could you please give us a quick introduction about yourself, your position at the university, and also some of your duties that you have?
Sure, yeah. So my name is Julie Anderson. I am the Regional Manager for Partnerships at RGU. So that means I manage our international scholarships, international articulations with other institutions, and our pathway providers, so the likes of NCUK.
Well, it's good to have you here, and I'm really happy that you joined me today to have a nice coffee with your Santa Claus mug. I love that mug. What I would like to know more about now is actually some kind of a history lesson about the university, about Robert Gordon University. Since I don't know much about the university, and I would like you to tell me more about the university.
Sure. Okay. So we're actually a modern university. So we got our university status in 1992 with a lot of other UK institutions. However, RGU is a little bit different, because we do have a history that goes back to the 18th century. Robert Gordon, who is the namesake of the university, was a merchant from Aberdeen, which is the city we're in, and he made his fortune travelling across the globe and brought the money back and invested it in the community, trying to teach children and up the education in the community. And so that has continued on in his legacy as we've become first of all a college and then onto a university.
That's actually quite touching. Like I didn't know that's the history of the university. It's really nice to hear about that there is like a greater purpose behind the university, and I'm really moved by the fact that there was a purpose for students and helping students to get education, and this is incredible. Other things I would like to know about, since you told me about this city location, it's located in Aberdeen, so it's a beautiful city, no doubt. Can you tell us more about some faculty ranking or the university ranking as well, or some of the teaching methodologies that the university uses? Is it like research-based or industry-based?
Sure, there's a lot in there. So this is a great year for us because we have just been announced as the Scottish University of the Year by the Times Good University Guide. So it's a big year for us. And just a couple of weeks ago, the THE, which I think is the Times Higher Education, has given us the Business School of the Year as well. So it's a big year for us in terms of accolades. We very much pride ourselves on being industry-focused university. So a lot of the industry around us, which at the moment is quite oil and gas heavy, but also renewable energies, have their head offices for Europe in the same city as us in Aberdeen. So we do a lot of the training on our site. So we have access to drilling simulators, we have access to all kinds of different equipment because of these close connections with industry. So I think that sets us apart as a university in that sense, that right from the very first year of study, students have the opportunity to do hands-on work experience during their course. We do have research topics that are going on in the university, but we aren't an ancient university, so it's not research-led. But that's not to say there's some great innovations happening in the university just now.
That's actually very good to know, especially with the fact that students have the opportunity to expose themselves to the industries directly, because they're living in such a, I wouldn't say industrial city, but also there's a lot of opportunities for them to build that network that they require for their future.
Okay.
And I think what I would like to know more about before we go into further question is something related to the NCUK, since you said your position is to handle like partnership. So NCUK, as you know, is International Foundation Year, and we have students watching this video today who are interested in knowing more about the requirements, the entry requirements that they must meet before they could apply to Robert Gordon University. So we're looking at the EAP and the either IFY score or the subject stream grades.
Sure. So officially, we have matched already all of our business school courses. So we're looking for the International Foundation Year at grade C across the board, or 104 points, I think it is. And likewise, we're happy to accept the English language at grade C with no element lower than grade C as well. The NCUK English was recognised long before we even did this matching, because it's a well-known English qualification for us, so we're very happy with students that have come through on that. So we have matched for the business school courses, as I said, but that's not to say that we wouldn't look at students that are coming for different areas, such as construction or health sciences, or art or design, those kind of areas as well. We'd happily look at those. It would just be on a case-by-case basis, as they're not yet matched. Oh, and engineering, of course, as well.
That's actually really good what you said about the business subjects, because there's something I forgot to tell you about. So for the first cohort that we're launching in March 2020, we're focusing on the business stream. So it's already very good. So that way we're like making a small group of business students that will be able to apply to the university after they graduate. So that's already perfect. They don't have to worry about it. There are plenty of business mode or degrees they could apply to at the university. So you said for the EAP we require a C, an overall grade of a C, and the IFY points we require 104. So that's equivalent to, for students who are not understanding the 104, it's equivalent to a CCC or a BCC. So you try to aim higher. The higher you aim, the better your chances of getting in the university, of course. But I'm not worried about Vietnamese students. You know, they're really hardworking, so I'm quite proud of that. You know, my students are always very outstanding, so I know they're going to be aiming for Bs. So 104, no problem. The next question that I would like to know more about, because I know students who I talk to every day are more interested in hearing about scholarships, and if there are any opportunities for them to apply to scholarships once they arrive to the university, or even before they apply to or while they're submitting their application. Basically, are there any automatic scholarships they could apply for?
Yeah, for sure. So we have an automatic scholarship for all of our international students at the moment, starting in year one, and all of the postgraduate students have an automatic scholarship, which means students don't need to fill in a separate application form. Provided they're international students, they're automatically selected for this scholarship discount. I was also working on a Vietnamese scholarship with the British Council just this morning, but that hasn't come to the end yet, so I won't mention that one. But there's lots of things coming up as well.
Nice. We'll keep that a secret for the next episode in the future. Then we can really, It will be revealed in the next episode.
Yeah, it's a teaser.
That's really nice to hear about, and I'm sure a lot of students who I talk to will be interested in those automatic scholarships, because it's just such a nice way for them to feel rewarded for the hard work they have done in high school and also through the NCUK program.
Yeah.
And as I mentioned earlier, we have business streams currently at the first in the first cohort in Vietnam. So what we're looking at is students who are going to apply to the Faculty of Business or to business-related modules. So what I would like to know more about is, can you tell us more about the Faculty of Business and what makes the Faculty of Business at Robert Gordon University more unique?
Yeah, for sure. Well, first of all, this is your students' chance to study at the Business School of the Year. So tell them to Google that and they'll find us. That's very exciting. And I think it's because of things like our links with industry. So all the courses that we have developed them in line with what industries are looking for. So whether it's to do with data analysis, or it's to do with digital design, or it's to do with marketing, the areas that they felt students were lacking, we continually evolve our courses to make sure that they fit with industry needs. Our undergraduate courses and some of our postgraduate ones also give students the opportunity to do work-based projects. So at the moment, students would do, or have the option, should I say, to do a year industry placement in their third year, and that counts towards their final grade. So it means they leave university with not just a degree, but also some experience as well in the workplace. For the postgraduate students, that's more short-based, because it's only a year's course, but they also obviously have the opportunity to stay on and do their post-study work. So I'm trying to think back to what your question was. Yeah, the teaching in the course is very much focused on trying to keep students current. So some of the projects, students that choose not to do the live year project can do shorter projects with industry, where they can do them, work on a project that's live, like a client-based project. So they can actually submit that to the company they're working with. So it still gives them that client understanding.
All right. So it's actually good to know about, especially you mentioned work placement on the third year, right? So usually the programs are 4 years, or it's an optional 4 years program, or they have to.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I should explain that at the beginning. So in Scotland we have 4-year undergraduate degrees. So your students with the International Foundation year come directly into our second year. So it's the same length as if they were studying down in England, but the difference is they would do 1 year of study. If they chose to do the industry placement, they would do that in their third year and then come back for their fourth and final project. If they don't want to do a year in industry, then they can do an academic year, the same as they would be expected.
Okay, that's good to know. That I didn't know about it. It's good that you explained it. So it's a 3 years program, let's say, and on the second year they're going to be choosing the work placement. How long did you say the work placement lasts for? Was it?
It's 1 year, and it's a paid placement as well. So we'll help the students to find these, and it means they'll just pay minimal fees that year, because it's just admin costs, because they will have a tutor that visits them, make sure that they're doing okay, and they will have to submit sort of what they've been doing. But otherwise, it's just that minimal fee that year, and also they'll receive a salary. So it's a great opportunity for students to kind of make a bit of money and get some experience.
Nothing wrong with making a bit of money while studying.
That's right.
But anyways, this is good to know about. I think because the thing is why I asked this question, because nowadays what I see very common amongst our Vietnamese students is a lot of them are quite, when they choose a university or a degree, they always focus on what kind of industry that degree is going to take me to, and what kind of career am I actually going to be able to gain out of this degree. So they're more career focused even before they go to university. So this is good, of course, to think about your career life before you start, but at the same time it also puts the pressure on the student So like, majors or degrees or universities that focus on work placement and career support. And luckily, Robert Gordon University offers that kind of support, and it's really good to know about. Just to add on this question, I know we've been talking about the work integrated learning for quite some time, but just to add on one more thing is that just to give you an idea that some students nowadays in Vietnam are considering to have their own entrepreneurial idea. So they either want to have their own startup company, or they want to do some kind of a small business when they come to the country that university is located at. So do the students get any kind of support if they have an idea that they would like to make it happen in let's say in Aberdeen, for example?
Absolutely. We actually have an innovation hub, which is sponsored by a large corporate company in Aberdeen. So they sponsor up to 20 ideas, if you like, every year. And there's a sort of structured year where you can put an idea. You can be an alumni, you can be a student, you can be staff, you have an idea. And there is a supported sort of function all the way through. So your initial investment, then you get a mentor to take you through the next stages of it. And then if they want to then invest in the company, you then have the opportunity to pitch to your idea, to be supported, and you can take it forward to sort of launch it as a business, if you like. So if you look on our website again, or if the students are interested, please look on the website and have a look at some of the business ideas. That they're the sort of things you wish you'd thought of, some really great ideas, and some of them are doing incredibly well. For such a young business, some of them only 2 years old, and they're really starting to flourish. So yeah, we very much encourage that innovation and entrepreneurship, and that's at the heart of what we do. So that is a strong theme here, and that is something we will definitely encourage students that have those kind of ideas, and definitely think about RGU.
Nice. That's good to know. So in some sense, they actually can build a future for themselves if they have an idea that they would like to, kind of make it happen there.
Yeah.
But talking about career and work life in Aberdeen, what about graduates? Like students who freshly graduated from the university, and now they feel like it's time for me to enter the world because they got internships previously, they worked through the work placement, so they could be connected, and they could now probably go back to that company that they worked for. But what about students who didn't really have a good connection with that company? Do they get any kind of support from the school to find other companies or other firms that they can work for?
Yeah, so we have a dedicated career centre, which is a purely free service for the students. So they can help them from everything from finding part-time jobs to finding a career when they're finished. So it's things like CV building, preparation for interviews, and also they host career fairs as well, where they let companies come and present to students. Obviously, international students are quite sought after because they have the languages and they're new graduates. So often that is quite a big pull for them. So we have those twice a year. At the moment, it's a virtual conference, but in the past, it's been in a gym hall kind of scenario where you can go around and speak to a lot of different businesses about opportunities. We also have some good links through alumni and through some of our corporate client connections with some of this teaching that we do overseas. So they can help students with opportunities if they would like to work in different parts of the world. So we can connect them.
It's always nice to hear about the student taken care of even after they graduate from the university. And you mentioned something about the alumni network, so the students are able to connect with the alumni as well through, is there a portal that's unique for the alumni only, or do they have to kind of connect through email? How does the connection for the alumni work between the students?
Yeah, so we have some alumni that have signed up to help, and we have some students that are currently on campus. So on our website, there's a talk to a current student facility where you can go in and do that. In there's also the opportunity to connect to staff, and there's an opportunity to connect to alumni. So it gives students direct access to sort of instant chat, if you like. If they're interested in certain types of business areas, they can look through the alumni that we have at the university, where they're working, what positions they're holding. And if they want to have that connection, then we would facilitate that for them. But we would have to sort of ask permission from the alumni, obviously, to connect people. But yeah, that's how we do that.
And I think I would like to know more about the life on campus, or even the life in the city, because I know some students would like to study on campus and live on campus, and some students would like to study on campus but live off campus somewhere in the city. So what are the differences between these two lifestyles, and also what do you students usually choose? Like, which one do they prefer?
Yep, sure. So we have a campus that's down by the river. It's very beautiful and very sort of conducive to studying, but quite peaceful, I have to say.
I actually see
so
the
it is a 20
campus. I like the campus a lot. Yeah, I do agree.
Yeah, it's very beautiful. On a nice clear day, you can see all down the river. The library is a large glass building, so really nice for views and things for focusing your study. However, it's about 20 minutes by bus into the city centre. So I find that a lot of the undergraduate students tend to live in the city centre because it's easier for part-time jobs and social life, cinemas, restaurants, bars, things like that. And then there's a bus that runs on a loop. So they just jump on the bus from the accommodation and come round to the campus when they have their classes. I think students that are research students or postgraduate students often live closer to campus because they want that quieter life. Not always, but that's what I find. So when I speak to the undergraduate students, I think they prefer living all together in the city centre accommodation. But there's lots of different options. They're all quite detailed on our website, and all the different prices and different accommodation types.
What about the campus itself? Do the students have access to, say, other facilities like the gym? Are there any canteens or restaurants from different countries? Because I know Vietnamese students, they always ask me, will I be able to find Vietnamese food like in this country? I'm like, of course you will. But I would still like to ask you, like, are there any kind of like, supermarkets from around the world, or Asian markets or things like that, because students would like to hear more about these as well.
Absolutely. No, I think it's a really good question, and it's often the things we don't think about. I was asked by an African student where they can get their hair done. I'm always asked where they can find Asian supermarkets from the other side of the world. So I think these are the important questions, aren't they? Because you want to know what your life's going to look like. Our campus has lots of different types of food on it, so lots of different food canteens, and there is all kinds of different world foods, which make it really a great place to go and look around and get something to eat if you are on campus. Likewise, if you travel back into the city centre, there is all kinds of supermarkets, and again on our website I've detailed all of those so that students can have easy access to them if they want to look at what it's like, what life is like in Aberdeen, and what kind of supermarkets there are, and all kinds of different nationalities can be found there. All the favourite little things that they missed from home.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to go into too details here, but I don't know if you know, but Vietnamese students love to drink coffee as well. Like, I was surprised. I met students who were 16 years old and were drinking coffee. I never drank coffee when I was 16 years old. I drank coffee when I went to university. But anyways, it's just it's a habit, in Vietnam to drink coffee. It's just like how we drink juice. Like here in Sweden, they just drink coffee like on a daily basis. So what I would like to know is, like, are there any possibilities for them to find Vietnamese coffee maybe?
I have to be honest and say I don't think I've searched for specifically Vietnamese coffee before, but I'm going to make that my mission to do that, and I will report back to you. We certainly have a Starbucks and a Costa on campus, but if that doesn't cut it, then we may have to bring in a Vietnamese one if the students want to come.
Yeah, that would be also on the next episode.
Yeah, I'll note that down.
Oh, yes. But I'm pretty sure they will be able to find this in the Asian market, probably. I think so. Yeah. Anyways, I have two more questions actually before we finish today's episode, and one is about the expenses, basically the financial expenses. How is it in the city? Will students be able to, do they have to spend a lot of money in order to enjoy life in the city, or can they spend like on a budget and they can still enjoy the city? Could you tell us more about like the financial expenses?
Yeah, sure. So again, like everything, it depends how they live. But generally speaking, we advise students on the cost of living, that they should account for between £30 and £40 UK pounds a week for their incidentals, and maybe the same again for sort of food. Accommodation starts at £98 a week, I think it is, and varies up to about £150. I should have thought in advance to put this into local currency, so apologies for that. I can follow up with that if that's useful. I've kind of detailed on our website, if you put in our website address /cost of living, I've detailed things like how much would a cup of coffee cost, how much does it cost to run a mobile phone, things like that. So I think those little things are helpful for students. There's all different kinds of supermarkets, as I've said, and clothes stores, so they can very much live on a budget, and many students do. We also have student discount cards that they get as soon as they enrol. So there is some very savvy students, and it's worth asking them how they do it, because they live on a very good budget when they need to.
That's really good to know about the discount card, because I actually never thought about it, but you just gave me a good idea for next episode questions that I ask about. Hey, do you guys have a discount card?
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that. I guess I only have, just to connect with that question, because I think I forgot to ask you about, are there any clubs and societies that the students can join at the university?
Yeah, absolutely. So on campus, we have a sports facility that has an Olympic-sized swimming pool, climbing walls, football pitches, basketball courts, and all the sports in between. I can't name them all, but there's everything there for the sporty kind of people. We're also well-based because we're right on the coast, so we even have a surf society, although I'm not sure I would be getting in the sea at this time of year, but people do. I guess they have to wear a dry suit or something, but yeah, it's not for me, but there's clubs and societies for all those different kinds of sports. Likewise, different interests, and they are vast, again, detailed on the website. And there is some sort of culture groups as well, and nationalities that have different societies, just so they can have that feeling of home. So that's all detailed on there as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna go surfing in this kind of like weather, because it's already cold. Like, it was snowing today in Sweden. I was like, geez.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But it's not that heavy snow. It's just like light snow, so it's probably gonna melt tomorrow morning. Anyways, I just have one final question because we're running out of time. So I just want to ask, what kind of advice do you have for our students? What would you like to say to our Vietnamese students before they decide to come to university?
Such a good question. Well, they've already made a great decision to start their studies with NCUK, because it's a great kind of platform to get a little taste of what it's going to be like and kind of get their head in that mindset, so that they're sort of prepared for when they come. Because I think it can be a bit of a culture shock, can't it, when it's different teaching and different environment and everything that happens all at once. So I would definitely say that. But my biggest piece of advice would be say yes to things when you arrive somewhere new. I know it's difficult in these COVID times, but I remember speaking to a student who was just a couple of months away from traveling home, and there's so many things they hadn't seen and done right till the very end, and they always say, I wish I'd done that sooner. So education and international education is not just about the studying, it's about enjoying the place you're in, enjoying a new culture, a new environment, new experiences. So if someone wants to take you Highland country dancing in Scotland, go and do it. Just see what it's like. Experience everything, and make up your own mind, because why not? That would be my advice.
Thank you for that, Julie. I do agree with you. Say yes to things, and try to explore the culture as well. Not just be like a bookworm. Like, just enjoy life as well. You know, you're there to learn. You're also there to experience the city, the culture, and the country as well.
But study hard as well.
Study hard as well. Of course. I mean, definitely.
Maybe we should have said that.
Definitely. Thank you very much for saying that. I think it's a wonderful advice to our students. And I'm out of questions. I have 0 questions here. So I'm just going to close my iPad and just going to be ending the episode here today, and thanking Julie Anderson from Robert Gordon University for joining me today on today's episode. I had a great time. I learned so much about Aberdeen, the city, and also about Robert Gordon University. So thank you very much, Julie. And
thank you so much. That was really great. And anything else that you need, or anyone that wants any support or to talk to me, I'm happy to do that. So please do reach out.
Thank you, Julie. Okay, so we're going to end the episode here. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and have a good night, and see you on the next episode. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.